My dad stayed in my tent the other night because his tent got destroyed, which was brilliant because it was my tent, my home, my domain, so I was in charge for once, which I love.
Another expense because of the weather. It's not bad for £32.40.
The greatest hits of all time.
On your way home.
The BBC are making a new documentary series. If you're working and finds it a little bit difficult to stay afloat, they want to hear from you.
On the rails, delays and cancellations.
New documentary series on the real story behind Working Britain.
If you're in work and fighting to stay afloat, the BBC...
Last year, local radio stations up and down the country played adverts asking people to phone in if they were struggling to make ends meet, despite having a job.
I normally keep a 50p or so. All right, buddy. No problem. Good luck.
Calls came in from all over the UK.
Working absolutely stupid hours.
Frequently, skint on payday, month after month. Absolutely buried in debt. I want to lose a house.
I can't afford to keep living like this.
Many asked not to be identified.
Please don't tell them who I am.
But some wanted to share their stories.
We've got nothing in the bank. We haven't even got a pension.
We're doomed. We followed 9 families for a year as their financial futures hung in the balance.
I must have been doing about 120 hours a week.
I don't want her to work as hard as I do. Hell no!
Being broke is not the same as being broken. So what does just about managing really mean for millions of us from all walks of life and all over Britain?
I've just got to keep going. Keep buggering on. That's what Churchill said.
Do you know when you're working with Wilf next?
I'll definitely be working at some point this
no,
week. No,
when?
And the next
Has he
week.
told you a date? So you don't know then? So at the moment, all you've got is what you've got. Yeah. For the next, could be week, 2 weeks or whatever.
It won't be 2 weeks, it'll be next, probably 4 days.
Every time you've got money, you have to spend it, but we can't afford it. Just look at the basics.
Well, we can at the moment, because I've got the money.
Oh, because you're rich all of a sudden, yeah.
No.
For one day.
Stop bitching all that.
I'm not, Bill, I'm looking at the bigger picture, mate. There we go, flex the pecs. He's just not happy to do 1 day a week and let Daddy carry his load. That's why I stress at him and we fall out all the time, because he's not pulling his weight and I get fed up with it.
When he's having a good day, my dad genuinely has a good day and he's fun to be around, but most of the time when he's having a bad day or he's stressing, it's not so fun to be around, but you just have to, but because I'm so used to it now, I just, all right, Dad, all right, Dad.
From the minute you opened your eyes this morning, you was in a grump.
No, man.
Yes, you was.
Even though Billy and his dad work when they can, they've been homeless since Steve lost his full-time job 5 months ago.
It upsets me from where he used to be to what he is now. And he hasn't really done anything to deserve what's happened, if you know what I mean. He got shit on, which isn't nice.
You could stay here for hours. I love this sort of stuff. It's your dream shop. You dream about having it all, but you can't have it all.
So, yeah. Hopefully we get a flat soon.
They've been living in a couple of flimsy tents and recently moved into the woods at the back of a friend's house. But winter's coming and they need at least £1,500 to pay the deposit and rent on a flat.
It's my tent over here. Billy's tent's there on the left. It's where we keep our little supplies and our plates and that. Can't keep milk out of it goes off too quick, so you're wasting money. And that UHT milk is disgusting. There's no way I'd drink that. I'd rather have no milk. But when you've had 5 months of it, it's not camping anymore, it's surviving. It's surviving.
This is a lovely fishing bed. This is my bit of luxury. Don't ask me why, but I've got an old Xbox 360, probably just in the hope that I'll get a telly. It's nice waking up, listening to the birds and that in the morning, which is all right, but yeah, it does get a bit annoying sometimes. But what can you do?
Never imagined I'd be living in a tent. No, no.
But it's better than being outside. I'm 50 years old. But 50 years old and living in a tent. Oh, well, I'd rather be in a house, wouldn't I, without a doubt, you know.
After he lost his job, Steve took whatever work he could find, like the occasional shift in the pub down the road. Now he's signed up to a 0 hours contract with an agency, and for the last 2 weeks he's been putting in 10 hours a day on a hop farm. Like nearly 1 million other people on a 0 hours, he doesn't know how much work he'll get each day, or whether there'll be anything at all next week.
I don't enjoy this job whatsoever. I absolutely hate it. And that's the truth. I hate it. I hate the job. But it's a job. If you don't take this job, someone else will do. There might be a chance you miss. So you've got to take any job you can get. Anything. Doesn't matter what it is. Shit, shoveling, bin, anything. You just got to take the job.
Billy works part-time for a tree surgeon, but can't afford a place of his own, and has always lived with his dad.
The pay's not bad, but the work's so sporadic, I've to survive on about £500 a month. We haven't always lived in the back of someone's garden. Me and my dad lived on the beach for 5 months, which was, yeah, interesting. During the summer months, it was lovely. It was like being on holiday. And then the rain come in, the wind come in, our tents got flooded. Yeah, we sort of had to get out and look for somewhere else.
The council offered Steve emergency accommodation 50 miles away in a hostel, but he turned it down. Because he's lived in Hastings all his life, he'd rather stay close to his friends and family.
Hopefully now, onwards and upwards, you know what I mean? So we've upgraded from the beach to a garden. Next thing, it's a house or flat. Happy days. But yeah.
This Tuesday, there's a £121 million jackpot.
Britain is one of the richest countries in the world, yet millions of people still struggle to pay the bills.
Hello, just responding to the radio advert. I'm a 48-year-old truck driver. My partner works full-time for the NHS. I work up to 60 to 65 hours a week, and we are only just making ends meet. 85–90% of my earnings every week going to try and clear our overdraft off. I'm getting paid on Friday, and I currently have £17 in my bank account. So, you know, we're only about sort of 2 paychecks away from being homeless. So that's basically it. It's just the cost of living going up, but the wages are either going down or just remaining static.
Dex, calm down. Jesus. That's why your mother always walks a bloody thing. I don't think you can describe Petobot without actually seeing steelworks. It's like the blood, isn't it? That's the blast down there. The blast furnace, they call it. One of them has exploded.
Exploded?
Yep. Years ago now. I was in there. I see molten steel flying in the air. You want something better for your children. You don't want them to follow in your footsteps. I didn't really go chasing dreams or anything. I didn't. I just done whatever I needed to do just to earn money. My cousins work here. My father, my uncles, my auntie. Just look at it. Beautiful, isn't it? Steelworks with the mountains in the background. It's the last big industry of Britain. Not anything left now, is there?
Ross works 4 days on and 4 days off at one of Britain's 2 remaining steelworks. He works 12 hours a day and earns £375 a week after tax.
So this is my control room, or my bubble as I like to call it. This is my home from home. This is the brains of the plant. If a plant stops, this screen will show me then which area is actually broken, and then I will head out there and fix it. I spent about 20 years in this bloody bubble. God, I'm old. But I've actually done something, not just worked in the steelworks. I like working, I enjoy my job and that. Like, it's not something that I wanted to do. It's not. I mean, to go to school and think, I know what I want to do. I want to go shovel shit for a living.
Ross's pay has not kept up with inflation and the cost of living. So effectively, he's bringing home less than when he started 20 years ago. But now he's got 3 kids, a mortgage and £8,000 of credit card debt.
Film night on a Friday night. This is my chill out night.
Listen now, these socks have been on the floor since yesterday. Didn't I say somebody better tidy up in here? And you have all sat and done absolutely naff all. Why am I going to pick up your debris every 2 minutes? Because you were 16 this year and you've just turned 14. Is this fair? You're having a laugh. Tidy your shit up.
They fell into debt because Vicky stayed home to look after the kids. And for nearly 14 years, Ross was the only breadwinner. But now, Vicky is back in full-time work.
Can we go shout at them for you? I paid them last time.
Don't do it, because someone will die tonight. I'm telling you now.
What is this song you've been singing today? Shoot up. Mommy's in a good mood, isn't she? She's always full of joy when she finishes work. Have you noticed that?
Though Ross and Vicky both have full-time jobs, once the bills, debts and mortgage have been paid, there's usually less than £300 a month left to live off.
Dad, I found it. Cake swaps.
I used to be heaving, yeah. We used to have loads and loads. But now it's died down, look. It's a sign of times, isn't it? Sad. It is sad. Thanks like that, Sergio.
All right, thanks,
Next week. Ta-da.
The grim forecast in the budget suggests workers are facing 2 lost decades without any rise in average earnings.
The most prolonged pressure on family incomes for more than 60 years.
We're going to see incomes cut by about £800 on average for the poorest third of households.
The government said, we want to build an economy that works for everyone.
No. Thanks. You couldn't have filled my glass anymore, could you?
Well, I'm not going making 2 trips.
I've done the lottery tonight. 155 million. What would I do with it if we won? We could build a kibbutz. We could build a little village and we could have all our people all together. Move your father and your brothers down. I'd rather stay home. I've lived here.
See, we wouldn't leave at all, but would we, babe?
No, but I think we'd have a nice home somewhere else as well. That would be nice.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't have to go to work.
We wouldn't have to go to work.
Ross was born 8 doors down on the same street he lives on now. After he left school, he did a bit of scaffolding and was briefly a jet ski instructor.
When I was growing up, we didn't have much. Me and my brothers used to watch wrestling on TV. And we always said that when we grow up, we are going to be wrestlers. We are going to be top superstars.
Yeah. For the last year or so, Ross has been taking his 2 eldest children training every Sunday at the Royal Imperial Wrestling Club.
Come on in. Bye.
Amy and Kellen can't enter a pro fight until they're 16, but Ross is ready to step into the ring.
You know the big show? We're going to debut. It's going to be a tag match. It's going to be me and you. You're going against the squad.
They're both big guys on the squad, isn't it?
Yeah, but even though you're like a smaller man, you're still extremely strong. And that's what I want to get out to the crowd. Like, even though Kurt is the big guy, you can give as good as you take, sort of thing.
Was he 6'6"?
Yeah, he's about 6'6", 6'7". He's a beast.
He is a beast.
It's my first proper wrestling match. And all my family are going to be there. So it's a big deal. I don't want to cock it up. Well, I gotta be the man, and I gotta be the hero.
I haven't got the best of education, I suppose, but I can't just walk them into a job and there you are, there's your job. So all I can do is just teach them how to fight.
There's always been people who have struggled to make ends meet. But these days, even some of those who thought they had made it are living on the edge.
Well, I have what's fondly known as a portfolio career. So I came up to London to be in a band, and then I did photography, and then I raised £1.5 million to launch an internet logistics business based in the courier industry. That lasted about 4 years. And it came really, really close once or twice to really suddenly taking off. In which case life would have been a different story. You know, I've fallen off the high trapeze, baby. There's no mistaking that. But at least I've landed in a Mercedes. So it's not the end of the world, is it? Good morning.
Mark has no savings or pension. He's been driving for Uber for nearly 3 years. They take 25% of his earnings, so he needs to make at least £800 a week to cover his costs, pay his rent, and put food on the table for his family.
As soon as I got into it, I was doing it double shift, 7 days a week, because we were in such doo-doo financially, literally. I mean, I was on the edge of losing the flat. I rent my place, I don't own it. You know, all the bills were backed up. It was just, I was waking up at 4:30 in a sweat. So Uber was a massive relief for me. If you're prepared to throw your life at it, you can make the money you need to make. I'm just another player in the gig economy. And it's hand to mouth on a month-to-month basis. Hello. Okay, we're going Heathrow T2. I drove these 2 great big Aussie blokes. They were both pretty pissed. And the young one, he was huge. And he interrupted my conversation by saying, yeah, Mark, that's all very well, but what I really want to do is get in the front and suck your cock. To which I went, oh, really? Ah, right, because that's not in the training video at Uber Towers, that one. I was like, first of all, I said, very flattered, thank you very much. Not really my thing, you know. I said, I've got a wife and kids. So have I, mate. So I've made 65 quid today, and that just is not enough. So I'll probably have to work Friday night as well, and maybe Saturday to try and make that up. Bye-bye.
For over 20 years, Mark has lived in a housing association flat with his partner, Mimi. It's not often the whole family get together now the eldest 3 have full-time jobs.
I'm going to plate Mark up.
Only Gabe is still living at home while he studies to be a pilot. But Mark is worried that even if Gabe passes selection, he can't manage to finance the training fees.
Marky, beer or wine?
I want wine.
That one's open.
Can we go?
Yes, go. I love having them all here. It's a rare occurrence these days. They're all rounded up. They enjoy each other's company. When they all arrived, they were all in the boys' room, just gaming and chatting, and I eavesdropped a little bit. And they just get on so well, and I'm, you know, proud of them. Lovely having them all here.
You're not going to see him off? Go on.
There have been a lot of hard times over the years. I've always done little bits and bobs, not really had a career as such, and he's had these stops and starts with income. And we've never had savings, we've never had big holidays, but we eat well, and we muddle along in quite an old-fashioned way.
No, it happens twice, Dad.
Mark will soon have to decide whether to pay £600 to stay with Uber for another 3 years. But even if he does carry on driving, he could still lose everything.
If you imagine how hard it is to keep your licence when you're driving 60 hours a week, everywhere is cameras and flashes. If you get 4 flashes in 3 years, that's 12 points. 12 points are off the road. And when you get a flash when you're driving, it's not because you're, you know, being dick dastardly and you think, ha, I'm going to get away with it. It's because you make a slip. You know, if things go wrong for me, it puts me one step closer to being out of a job. Not having a job probably means not having a home. The only way we cope with the future is by not thinking about it. If I thought about it, I'd just give up.
All I've had today is 5 packets of salt and vinegar crisps at work. You know, I didn't have money for sandwiches or anything, so £1 for 6 bags of salt and vinegar crisps got me through the day. You just have to get by, don't you? As long as you eat, that's all that matters. Get some food inside you and crack on with it. And you've got the Heinz spaghetti, just 1 meal. Beans on toast, that's another meal. If you've got £5, you get as much as you can for a £5. You know, they're quite extravagant because they're Heinz.
Steve used to work as a caretaker at the local football club. He only earned £9,000 a year, but was able to get by because his boss gave him a discount on the rent for a caravan.
I'm actually enjoying this.
So when a couple of businessmen from out of town bought the club, Steve didn't just lose his job, he also lost his home.
That's my one, right down the back under the trees there. That's where I lived. Right, yeah, look, through the gap. That one there. That's where me and Billy lived, in there. I loved it down there. I absolutely loved it down there. Nice, isn't it? That's done and dusted. It's the past now, isn't it? Forwards now. Fuck it. I didn't have to worry about nothing. I had a roof over my head. And then bosh. And I didn't even see it coming. This is where my tent used to be. Right here. This is where I slept. And Billy's tent was over there. Yeah, I do miss this place, actually.
I'm 51 years old, absolutely buried in debt. I want to lose a house. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm just doomed. I'm constantly in debt, you know, taking out payday loans and using credit cards for simple things like food, and even contemplated suicide on some occasions just because being alive is just far too expensive.
Billy and Steve will freeze if they don't find somewhere to live before winter. But because they've been homeless for so long, they reckon they have a pretty good chance of getting social housing on the council's online bidding system.
How do you log in, Bill? Log in?
No, I'm going to change this here.
Problem is, there's only 3 houses available and over 100 people applying for them.
If you are in Band C or D, the severe shortage of council and housing association homes in your area may mean you have to wait years before being housed. Renting privately may be the solution for you. We're in better than C or D, we're in B, but, you know, it's not saying that we're homeless, it's just saying that we need 2 separate bedrooms. They don't realise we've got no bloody bedrooms. We ain't even got a house, we ain't even got a place to stay. So really, we're in the wrong category.
We need to get the band changed.
Yeah, I think we're in the wrong band. Just contact us. That's a piss take, isn't it? Oh, sorry, but that's a piss take. If you want help bidding, right, we're low on money, so if you want help, yeah, we'll give you help at 25p a minute plus your company's network charge, so it could be 50p a minute to phone, and you sit there for 40 minutes waiting for it to get through or listening to a bloody taped machine. So you're looking at like, you know, 20 odd quid, just for them to say, no, sorry, we can't help you, don't know nothing about it.
So what are you doing now, then?
Reading about bidding. Yeah, you can't look it up, Bill. There's no help anywhere. Oh, mate. Waste of time, this is. Just a waste of money, waste of time, this.
The charity Shelter says the number of people rough sleeping, staying in hostels or temporary accommodation is more than 250,000.
It's blamed the crisis on years of underinvestment in the building of affordable properties.
The distance is so far to get that deposit that maybe back in the 80s you might have had to scrimp and save, but did you have to do it for so long?
I nearly bought a house back in 83, something like that. And it was a 2-bedroom place, but it was £23,000. And I had a job earning about 9 grand a year. So I guess that it was only, what, 3 times my wages.
James, would house prices going down be a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's got to be a good thing related to supply.
Yeah, but that's the whole economy hangs on, you know, because everybody's borrowing is backed up by the price of their house. It's an impossible position where we need housing to be affordable, but that's the value of everybody's life that they've piled into their house. So if it falls, we're all screwed. So we're screwed either way.
But they're ridiculously high, aren't they, in some parts of the country? I mean, it's ludicrous.
Basically, they've turned our homes into a commodity, and homes shouldn't be a commodity. They're not something that you gamble your money on in the hope of making some more. And how that is not the biggest scandal in the political world is beyond me, really beyond me. What kind of successful government runs a country where ordinary people can't afford a home? That's not success, is it?
I'm gonna get bright blonde hair dye, I am.
You?
Yeah. I look like 4, won't I?
No.
Yes, I will.
No, you won't.
I look just like 4.
No, you won't.
I will be the god of thunder. She's so supportive of me, isn't she? I am the god of thunder. God of war, I am. That's going to be my Viking armour, isn't it? But that looks awesome. You tell me you don't think that look good?
What is it?
That's to your waist. That goes down like that.
Oh, tunic. Dress.
Not a fucking dress.
Sleeveless dress.
Vest, not dress.
He's a kid. I think all men are kids, aren't they? I don't think he's ready to be a grown-up yet. Bit of a Peter Pan thing going on there, I think. Do you know what, though? He enjoys his little self, so who am I to criticise? Nothing wrong with dreaming, is there? particularly for Ross. I mean, his days are so mundane going to work. If he thought that that was all that there was until he retires, what motivation is there to get up and keep going? My dream is to have a clear laundry basket. I don't ask for much, and that's absolutely attainable, isn't it? It's not a lot to ask for, is it, Dex? I think you peed on my foot. My foot is very soggy, Dex.
Lock it in. Slowly bring him down.
Though wrestling is carefully choreographed, it still hurts to get it wrong. And Ross has to practice all the moves before his debut in 7 weeks.
Touch me.
Production at the steelworks has fallen behind, and Ross has been told to do extra shifts, which means he won't have time to train for his big fight.
All right.
Oh, really?
Mara.
I think I got a spondylolaryngitis.
Funny though, she was very loud with the rugby yesterday. She was very loud.
I can shout all right.
Oh, yeah. We're not going to have a life now for the next 3 months. We used to work 4 on, 4 off. But no, it's 2 days, 2 nights, 2 off. 2 days, 2 nights, 2 off. So the body clock's going to be messed up.
You won't have much rest in between your shifts.
All my routines and everything is going to be just knackered.
That's not going to be good.
I don't know I'm going to fit it all in. But it'll help the overdraft. It'll help us get out of debt a bit, won't it? Hopefully. Hopefully. Just think of the money. Yeah. You can't exactly say no. I would like to have my own big match. But obviously, work's got to come first. You have to put wrestling on the back burner while you earn the money. Work comes first.
This is the only country in which wages have not recovered since the global financial crash.
We've been dealing with Labour's mismanagement of the economy.
Billy and Steve's Local is closing tonight, and it's all you can drink for £20. The new owners want to convert the pub into holiday homes that they hope to sell for hundreds of thousands of pounds.
We'll miss this place when it closes because this was our safe haven, as such to say. You know what I mean? It was our safe haven, and the landlord and the landlady have been absolutely amazing to us. They've given us somewhere to go, somewhere where we can eat when we've got no money. So tonight it's the last day, so it's our farewells because I'm sure there's people that we won't see again from here.
Oh, Dan, please, mate, please, get in touch with us, man.
Listen, I love you so much.
I know, mate, I know. You've looked after me and Bill, mate. You give me shifts behind the bar. I love you for that.
Your family.
You know, no, seriously, Dan. Seriously.
The thing is, our own government has treated our own people like shit. It's gone to the dogs. It ain't this is not England no more. Every person you're voting for to get into politics is the same dirty bastards than the person that you just voted out. They're scum. Be real. I've got your back, you got mine.
Oh, I love you, babes.
Ching, ching.
basically, I'm fucked.
Oh, what you've done. What have you done?
Dad. Yes. You awake?
No, Bill, I'm asleep.
I'm making you sandwiches for work tomorrow.
He don't know what he's doing.
No, I don't. The simplest task of making a sandwich right now is difficult.
Seriously, Bill.
What? Dad? Dad, how much pickle do you like? A lot? So not a lot? Okay. Yeah, take that.
That's a disaster, look at that.
Food is food. You need food. I've just made you food. Don't moan about it. It's for work tomorrow. Stop being funny.
Slip phone. Where's my bloody phone? Shit. Oh, bollocks.
Bill! Wake up! Bill!
My phone's died, so my alarm hasn't gone off. I haven't got up. Billy hasn't got up. Bill, get your ass in gear, mate. Don't you miss a day. Do you hear me? What? Don't you miss a day, mate.
Right, Dad, I'll see you later.
Steve's car is still at the pub, and by the time he can get to work, he'll have missed half a day.
Bollocks.
When he called his employment agency to apologise, he not only lost his job at the farm, he was told he wouldn't be getting any more work because he was too unreliable.
285.84. That'll have to last me until I get a job with another agency.
I can't get onto Uber. So, look, roundy, fucking roundy.
Mark turns 60 next year, and he'd hoped that by now he'd be looking forward to a comfortable retirement. But this morning, he's had the results from his annual health check, and 3 years of driving around London has taken its toll.
I'm officially diabetic.
Well, no, you're not. You're borderline.
No, I'm 6.6. 6.5 is diabetic.
The thing to do is to crank up the exercise. It's all just because of having a sedentary job.
Can't I just have lipo? Lipo vouchers for Christmas. And here I can take this home for the cat. As soon as you get the job off out the door, I reckon it doesn't take me more than about 20 seconds to get in the car and get rolling. And you might... Oh, bollocks! They're cancelled. Oh.
As well as running the house and raising her boys, Mimi earns a bit of extra cash as a Pilates instructor.
Exhale, engage the belly, use the tummy.
And though it's not a steady income, it does help pay the bills. They manage fine so long as Mark can keep working. But they don't own the house, and they've never saved for a pension.
I don't have a retirement plan because I've always been freelance. I've never paid my stamp. I've got no pension at all. So I think that, as far as I know, the state gives you some kind of basic, super basic pension. They must do, otherwise the streets would be full of starving geriatrics, I suppose.
Half of the adult population are said to be financially vulnerable in some way. 15 million failing to save for a pension. 6.5 million with no savings to speak of. That's many millions living on the edge.
The walking is endless, the talking seems fruitless. There are no words of comfort and no end in sight. We're traveling forever through hunger and slaughter. Our sons and our daughters have never known shelter.
That's me and Mark in Munich, and we used to shoot for a German pop magazine, Bravo. He looks so young. And so he was in the studio a lot, and I was raising kids. So, but yeah, we were good. We had fun.
At least I set out to be a professional photographer, and I did become one. So that's something. So that's Jay-Z. When he was really young, when he first came to the UK. That is All Saints. Do you remember All Saints? Mark Morrison. Return of the Mac. I remember it being really difficult because we had 3 really young children. I mean, Oliver was a newborn, and you know, any parent will tell you how hard that is.
Oh, it was hectic. But, you know, we coped. Having devoted myself to raising the boys rather than trying to have a career as well. You know, it's like if you choose to do that, then don't feel guilty. You know, it's quite a job, and I think my boys benefited from it. You know, they're well adjusted, and I know it's not always possible. You've got to earn money, you've got to keep up your mortgage payments, you've got to continue a career if it's on a good trajectory. You know, but it was just different for me, and I'm glad I did it the way I did it. But we've ridden many a storm, and there's probably still more to come. Mark does feel the pressure.
So that is all the car payments for 1 year. It's tricky, I'm into the overdraft now, so you know, I'm hoping this year things will take off a bit more financially. And I keep thinking, is this it? You know, is this where it ends? Finished his career as a taxi driver. I'm scared of getting ill because we can't afford to take any time off. But I still haven't given up the idea of doing something else.
This government's priorities are those in Britain who are working hard but just about managing. People for whom life sometimes can be a struggle, but who get on with things without complaint. They get on with their jobs, sometimes 2 or even 3 of them. They don't ask for much, but they want to know that everyone plays by the same rules and things are fair. And above all, they want to believe that tomorrow will be better than today, and their children will have the chance to go as far as their talents will take them.
It was a bad one last night, it was. I had a couple of shoots block on me, and it was just one of them nights it was. So I spent my Friday night shoveling shit.
Ross has been doing extra shifts for the last month, so he's missed all his training sessions at the gym.
God. It messes up my training, messes up the wrestling side of it. But it'll help the bank account. It'll help the bills and the debts. It's got to be done, innit?
Hi. I've been in full-time employment ever since I was 15 years old.
to be perfectly honest with you, I don't have a penny of savings.
And I'm trying to teach our kids that, yes, it's worth working. It really isn't unless you were in a really, really well-paid job.
The government, they want us to just survive. We're surviving. Nobody's living in this UK anymore. I can't afford to live. It's disgusting.
Shouldn't have to struggle, should you?
No. There's just a massive gap in there between living expenses and what you can actually earn. Yet you got asylum seekers and everybody else coming over the country. You're having £500 a week in benefits, vouchers to go shopping to Tesco's. What's that about?
It's like smoke and mirrors, though, isn't it? They can just kind of put it on to the asylum seekers, so everybody gets angry at them then.
Yeah, that's what, you can deflect, can you?
It's not their... It's
not their
It's the
fault.
government that's screwing it.
Yeah.
Like, it's the rich sat on their ass sleeping in the bloody room, making all our decisions, who haven't got a fucking clue how to live in the real world.
They don't give a shit, do they?
Yeah.
And nobody should have to be doing 2 and 3 jobs just to feed the kids.
No. Try again.
Though he hasn't been able to get to the wrestling club, Ross isn't about to give up on his dream.
A fucking bootful.
Let's cover what you need.
A few days before his debut, his tag partner, PJ, has offered to go through the routine.
You in there?
1, 2, 3. Stuck. Bang. Bang. This is where you block. Like now. Slamming.
When you're stuck in work, you're constantly having to think of work and having to think of money. At least with wrestling, you don't have to think of anything else, it's just what's in front of you. It's like freedom.
One of the power moves Ross has to rehearse is to lift his opponent above his head and then slam him to the ground.
Right, one thing, try and pick him up like you would for a slam. Don't slam him, but just get him up.
Him?
Yeah. What I'm thinking is I want to see if it looks natural. Right. Try and transition your hand from there then to there. Yeah, you got it. Bang on, actually. That looks nice and smooth.
So, if you're running through my mind, this match, whether I'm going to be fit enough, whether I'm going to be strong enough. They've all got high hopes for me being able to lift everybody up all the bloody time. I've got to try and make myself, pick myself up. I've got to look the part.
Every wrestler needs an alter ego, and Ross is going to be the Dreadwolf.
Not too bad. I'm trying to find a hair for. I can't say that. I can't pronounce my THs. Yeah, that colour.
Yeah, I know what you want.
That hair.
We'll get bleach then.
That's not too bad, actually.
It looks like crap.
What the hell, Karen? What the hell? Oh, fucking hell.
That's not nice.
Love, I don't cry anymore. I look like 20 years younger.
He's a little bit nervous, and I think people give him a bit of ribbon for doing it, but secretly I think perhaps they're a bit jealous because they haven't got, I don't want to say courage, but they won't get up and do it themselves. It's easier to take the mick out of someone than tap them on the back and say, oh, well done, mate. Good effort. Life's too short to be serious all the time.
With no job and no pub to go to, boredom's kicked in, and Steve wants to move camp.
I've just got to make sure there's no spoilers. Yeah, nose of the bastard's running everywhere. Look. Ooh. That's what I'm gonna do. It's just miserable down here. You don't see nothing, you don't see no one, you don't socialise, you don't even see the stars. How you doing, Bill?
Oh, yeah. Feels like I've only been here 2 minutes and we're moving already. What's going on? It feels really weird being back here. Really weird. I've got a gigantic swimming pool, which is a touch. That's the result. But don't get me wrong, I prefer a bed and a room and a TV and an Xbox. I haven't got saying anything at all, really. But he's my dad, so got to part with it. And obviously, I'm going to be here with him on the beach because I want to make sure he's all right. So I wouldn't have it any other way, really. So, yeah. It's definitely more cold down here.
This is much better, much better already. I'm happier here.
I'm happier.
$1,000,000% happier here. I don't care what anyone says. If you wanted to go back, you could go and pitch yourself up there.
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right, I didn't like it.
I'm happier here. I've got things to do.
Oh, Teal's popped his head up again.
I mean, there's his partner. Look, she's come up beside. If only it weren't for the wind, we wouldn't have left here. Yeah, there you go. That's life.
There are millions of people like Mark who survive from paycheck to paycheck. And though driving 60 hours a week is ruining his health, he now has to decide if he's going to renew his licence and carry on for another 3 years.
Is it nice then? Is
It's
it?
very nice. It's almost like a real lamb went in there.
No, it's totally vegan.
I've got to go now.
All right. Are you going to cycle or get the train over there?
I'll get the train. Right, see ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you. He's gone out the door, but you know he'll be back one day in the not too distant. He's going to go out that door with a big bag and he ain't coming back. Yeah, that'll be it. All done.
Ciao.
All gone. All full.
I know.
And there'll be me and thee
Oh, God.
and the cats.
Yes.
It's going to be weird. It's going to be different.
Mm. Yeah, it certainly is. Well, I imagine then that I will breed pedigree cats.
So that's your big money-making idea?
Yeah.
Cat breeder?
Yeah.
And will this support us? Will we be able to live on the pedigree cats? The fact is, are the lights going to be switched on? Will we be able to afford to heat the place and eat anything? You know, we've got nothing in the bank. We don't own any property. We haven't even got a pension. It's a pretty...
We're doomed.
It's a bleak prospect, isn't it? Unless something turns up.
Yeah. It's not fair on you to keep driving an Uber. You know, it's soul-destroying.
Babe, we haven't got an alternative unless you can find a job that pays a decent whack.
What would I do? I'm not qualified to do anything. What job could I get? You know, the plan would be to try and get more Pilates. I've still got this feeling like we just cross the bridge when we come to it. You know, just be poor, cope, like we always have.
There just isn't a bridge, so that's the trouble anymore. There's no bridge.
Oh, stop it. It's just very depressing. Realistically, thinking about the future, I am going to have to keep working. And you know, that I guess that's what I'm going to do. You know, my role will change. I won't be this sort of house mother that I've been for the last 28 years. You know, so yeah, it's a big change. And yeah, it's fast approaching. And I haven't really thought enough about it. I don't know. I suppose it's time to do that. make some plans. So yeah, maybe.
When I took out my first licence, it was for 3 years. I thought, well, I won't be doing this in 3 years. Here I am renewing it. You know, if I get to the end of this one, it'll be 6 years. And You know, I'm getting towards the end of my working life. I'm 59, for Christ's sake. It's mad. So I've just got to keep going. Keep buggering on. That's what Churchill said. So I'm just going to keep buggering on and until I get somewhere, or they dig a hole in the ground and put me in it, you know. What else can you do? Hopefully, we'll live fast, die young, and leave beautiful corpses. I mean, that's the best plan there is, isn't it?
The guy I'm fighting, apparently he's never been lifted before. It's a bloody giant. And because of work, I haven't had as much training as I hoped. But with the kids, I've got to show them that you can just go for it.
Here we go. Can do it. You can do it.
You can do it! It's toughening them up. You get hit down and you fight to come back. Just to show that nothing can keep you down.
The position I'm applying for is delivery driver. Driving job, 'cause I love driving. Yes, yes, yes.
Just give me a chance. Just give me a trial. I'll prove I can do the job, you know what I mean? Just give me that chance. Give me that opportunity and I'll prove you. They'll love me.
Just have to graft and get on with it. No one's going to put me down. No one's going to belittle me. I'm a human being after all.